Hi guys, I am Umesh Kushwanshi and today I am here to make you understand the basics of gradle. The gradle. Whenever we hear about this gradle, we think, what is this? Actually, gradle is an open source advanced and we can say it is very advanced general purpose build management system. It is actually built on Ant, Maven and Livy repositories. If you are not aware of this Ant, Maven or Livy repositories, don't worry, it's not a big deal. I will make you aware of this all. If you are new to Gradle and as well as for Ant, Maven or Livy repositories, do not worry, I make you understand what it is. Today here I will make you understand the repository tools that is also helps in the building of the projects. So in short, we are here to understand what is building tool. The building tool that is used for projects. So it is the project building tool. So the developers who are about to work on projects or the project modules, earlier they used to do a lot of manual works like compiling the project. After that, as soon as they compile the project, after that they also do the efforts on building the project. After that they execute the project, and after that they verify whether the development is running in the safer mode or the expected mode, or either it is going through the wrong path. So this is what in the picture we came up with the gradle. Gradle is the very advanced tool nowadays, and prior to this gradle, and if we say about the history of the building tool, the first building tool was Ant. The Ant that was a first building tool released in 2000, and it was developed based on the procedural programming idea. So this building tool was having a lot of lags in its development, like it was not on it do not work on the cloud repositories. It only work on the your locals repository or the dependencies. Okay, so to overcome of this flaw, Maven came into the picture. After 4 years, since 2000 to 2004, we have been working or stuck with Ant. It was quite useful. It was helping us to build the application on a single click of batch files, and it was also responsible for compiling the project. It was actually the XML based it was actually the XML based building a script, okay, that was helping developer to build their project. But the flaw was it was not resolving dependencies from the clouds, and its building script was not quite familiar because it was not working on a good hierarchical way of building a script where we were using the procedural programming tense. So Maven came into the picture in 2004, and it came up with a lot of improvement than the Ant. Let's say the structures and the life cycle, it came into the picture. Okay, so It helped to pull the dependencies from the clouds if it is not available into your local repositories. Maven used to create your local repositories for the project, where if you are about to work on the another similar projects where you want to sync up your some dependencies, you do not need to copy them again. You just need to make a pass. You need to set up a some configuration that is just going to communicate with your local maven repository. It will be automatically linking with your project. So you do not so these kind of major uh, features with that maven came up on the end. Okay, the drawback of this maven was that it was not able to verify the versioning, or there was a conflict in the versions if there is some uh, similar dependencies or the similar versions are available building after the build. Maven fails there, was failing there on the network. It was not able to handle the conflicts actually between the version of same libraries. Okay, if the library is available in your locals and in your clouds, or sometimes if you just copy the multiple libraries with the same different name, so it was not actually able to identify and it conflicts, and you had to deal with manually. Finally, the Gradle came into the picture in 2012, after a long time it is, right? But still, Maven was quite useful in the industry, no doubt. I have been working on the Maven for a long time, but while I started dealing with Gradle, I was quite surprised, and it is quite easy to handle. It is very lightweighted, so I can say myself that I am just going to be a fan of this. If we say about the features of gradle, so in gradle it is having its own very contrast and well designed building pattern. Okay, so we are having its declarative build, and this build is by convention. So here actually gradle is available with separate domain. Okay, separate domain specific language, and this language is the groovy language that uses the basics from java, and it is very useful and very declarative language. The elements provided by this convention supports the Groovy, Java, OSJ and the Web and Scala language. The another feature of this Gradle is language for dependency-based programming. So the declarative language lies on the top of the general purpose task graph, which you can fully leverage in your build. Actually, the build you design, so it is just lies on the top general purpose of task graph, so you do not need to uh, go through the complicated work to design your build and working conventions to follow while you are just writing your build. It is very general purpose. It uses very general purpose task graph to handle and pull up the uh, steps. That is quite easy to write your building script. The next feature of this Gradle is structure your build. So it provides a very familiar and very easy structure to write or build. So it allows you to apply common design principles to your build. It gives you a perfect structure for build so that you can design well structured and easily maintained comprehensible build. So we can say it is very perfect for while you are writing your building script in Gradle. It holds your deep API, that is its next feature, where you can monitor and customize its configuration and execution behavior to its core. So it is not mandatory to keep all the configuration or the unnecessary configuration under your build script, and it has its very deep API where you can just pick and drop into your building script the feature whatever you needed. You just need to pull up from the API and you just need to drop into your build script. Gradle skills is the another feature of this. So Gradle can easily increase the productivity. How it just help us to increase the productivity? This is because it is quite simple and is single projects built to huge enterprise multi-project builds. For our enterprise projects, we do not need to create the multiple build script as per their versions. I have seen the enterprise projects and have been working on the many of enterprise projects, and we had to create the separate builds with their separate build versions and all, and we have to every time modify the builds scripts. So if we say about this Gradle skill, we do not need to deal with the multiple build script. It is very easy to increase the productivities by dealing with just writing a single project build script for the entire huge enterprise project. So the next feature is multi-project build, where we say this Gradle supports multi-projects build and also partial build. If you build a sub-project, Gradle takes care of building all the sub-projects that this depends on. So you do not need to worry about the major projects or its subsequent sub-projects. You are free to deal with if you are just about to build a sub-project or just a module of the major project. It supports on the multi-projects builds as well. You can separate your builds, or you can just build the particular module separately. You do not need to wait until the rest other projects are up to build on. The other feature of this Gradle is different way to manage your builds. Gradle supports a different strategies to manage your dependencies. So you do not need to get afraid while you are about to deal with build of the large projects. You have the multiple ways to build your projects and the very easy way to manage your builds. First, build generation tool, that is the other feature of this Gradle, that is helps you to make you understand it's actually completely support the end task, maven and Livy repository infrastructure for publishing and retrieving dependencies. So it also provides a converter for turning a maven to the Gradle script. So any maven projects can be converted to your Gradle script, as well as any Ant or Livy projects can also be converted to the Gradle scripts. So the next is the ease of migration. Gradle can easily adapt to any structure you have. So if you want, or if you want to just move from Gradle to another structure, you can easily migrate it. You can always develop your Gradle build in the same branch where you can build. Gradle wrapper also allow you to execute the Gradle builds on the machines where Gradle is not installed. This is how it can directly interact to its servers if the Gradle is not available. The prime need is to have just to have the active internet connection to the machine so that it can just communicate to the server. Free open source, as Gradle is a free and open source building tool, no license is required, and it is under the Apache Software License Foundation, that is also the open source. Groovy is the Gradle's base where the Gradle build script is written. So the whole design of Gradle is oriented being used as a language, not a rigid framework. So if there is any change you do not need to learn, the Groovy will be quite enough. Groovy allow you to write your own script with some abstraction. The entire API is designed in Groovy's language. So here you may think that why we used Groovy here for this Gradle API. The complete Gradle API is designed using the Groovy language. As we know, the advantage of its internal DSL over XML. The Gradle is the general purpose tool. At its core, its main focus is on Java project. In such projects, the team members will be very familiar with the Java, and it is better that a build should be transparent as possible to all team members. So it was very, by keeping that thing in the mind, that Groovy was the best option because Groovy uses the basics from the Java, and it is very easy to understand the Java developers. The coding or the Gradle API, and it will be very easy to deal with the Gradle API in this way. So still, because as this offers the base scripts basics of the Groovy from the Java, so this is the single major reason to use Groovy for this Gradle API creation. So this was all about the Gradle basics and what is Gradle and why did we create and how did we create this Gradle API. In the next lecture I am just going to share with you guys the setup of Gradle to our system. Thanks for watching guys. See you in the next chapter.